Welcome to Everything Education with Dr. Roz. I'm Dr. Roz, and I want to thank you for joining me today for Season 1, Episode 5, titled Gradual Release of Responsibility. My entire Season 1 is dedicated to classroom solutions. So this particular episode will be focusing on gradual release of responsibility. It is a model that is used to foster scholarly independence and engagement in the instructional environment. The gradual release of responsibility model, it has 4 steps, which is an instructional approach that transitions the learning responsibility from the teacher to the scholar. The 4 phases include I do, which is the focused explicit instruction, we do, which is the guided instruction, you do together, which is the collaborative learning, and you do, which is the independent practice. As I mentioned, the first stage is modeling, the I do. This is where we demonstrate, as teachers, we demonstrate the learning task or concept for the day, and we break it down into manageable pieces and steps for our scholars. This is very important because as the teacher, we get to model clear, concise explanations and demonstrations that highlight critical features of whatever the learning task is for the day. This helps our scholars understand the process and the rationale behind each and every step. So this is where we definitely will begin the think aloud process, which is a great intervention to use in this model. The think aloud process is where we, the teachers, we explicitly teach the lesson, provide the instruction, but we do so in a fashion where we are talking out loud as if we're talking to ourselves. The point behind this is so that our scholars can hear our thinking. We need to model to them or for them what it looks like and what it sounds like when you're trying to learn something. It's a great way for scholars to see in action the types of questions you could ask yourself, how you may annotate depending on what the lesson is, how you may answer some of the questions, or how you may denote any confusion you may have about the lesson. It's a great opportunity for you to talk out loud and show the steps, as well as scholars being able to hear you walk through the steps. So that think aloud is a critical piece of what you need to do in the gradual release of responsibility model. So regardless of what you're teaching, math, science, English, or social studies, you want to solve a problem or address questions to a case study or set up a science experiment, whatever it is you're teaching, the key is to explain your thought process out loud where scholars can hear your thinking. That is so, so important. That's what we do in the modeling piece of the I do phase of the gradual release of responsibility. So that's step 1. Step 2 is the we do, which is the guided practice. This is where we work alongside our scholars. We provide support and feedback, which is immediate as they practice whatever the task is for the day. We want to emphasize the importance of guided practice and gradually shifting that cognitive responsibility from the teacher to the scholar. This allows scholars to apply what they've learned with immediate support. So again, the content doesn't matter. It could be science, social studies, ELA, or math. Whatever the learning task is for the day, you want to help scholars walk through the process, whether it's drafting an essay, solving a step-by-step math problem, solving a science experiment, or working on charts and graphs in social studies. Whatever the learning task is for the day, the important step here is that you think aloud, show your thinking, let them hear your thinking, and provide immediate support. This is a great opportunity where you're guiding them through whatever the learning task is, and you're shifting that responsibility from you to the scholar. The third step involves the you do together. That's the collaborative learning piece. Here is where we encourage our scholars to work in pairs or small groups so that they can literally apply the concept, foster peer support, and have academic discussion. Peer interaction is so important. Scholars learn a lot from each other, especially when you create a conducive learning environment that fosters collaboration. Scholars won't feel afraid or shy or unsafe in a learning environment that supports their learning and their mistakes. That's what we want to do with the collaborative learning, the you do together. Here is where we highlight the benefits of this by increasing engagement and deeper understanding through the peer interactions. That's what the collaborative learning step does. Again, content doesn't matter. The key is that they're working in groups and they're discussing their ideas and they're sharing the responsibility of working and being in that group. The fourth stage is the you do. That's the independent practice. Here is where you allow the scholars to practice independently. They have to apply what they've learned today in the lesson with minimal support. You want to stress the importance of independent practice in solidifying the learning and promoting their autonomy. Again, content doesn't matter. Whatever the lesson is, you want scholars to complete a set of problems or a case study or review charts, graphs, whatever it is to demonstrate their understanding and learning. So the independent practice is key. Here is where they prove and show their learning and their thinking. We talked about think alouds already. Again, this is where you model your thought process while solving or working on a learning task, which helps scholars internalize the steps and strategies they need to perform their own think aloud as they're working. We talked a little bit about assessments. Definitely want to progress monitor. Want to use a lot of formative assessments because they're quick, they're informal, and it helps you gauge what the scholars understand. And it allows you, the teacher, to adjust your instruction as needed. The other thing I want to mention for the gradual release of responsibility, again, the think alouds and the formative assessments, those are interventions we can use. Another one to use would be scaffolding. This is where we provide temporary support structures for our scholars to help them understand and complete the tasks that are necessary for the day. Those support structures could be simple as graphic organizers, checklists, or rubrics. All of those things will help our scholars be successful, helps them understand and complete the task for the day. So the gradual release of responsibility, again, is an effective tool to use. It supports the learning environment. It helps scholars feel safe where they can make mistakes and adjust. And your actual lesson can be adjusted. Your instruction can be adjusted based upon the needs of your scholars in the learning environment. So the overall purpose is to empower our scholars to become confident, independent learners. That's the ultimate goal. We want to use this model because it's effective in improving literacy achievement and reading comprehension. It also emphasizes the importance of providing ample time for our scholars to process and gain independence in completing complex tasks. So the gradual release of responsibility, again, it should be used to empower our scholars. We want confident, independent learners in our learning environment. So I truly appreciate you tuning in today. I'm your host, Dr. Roz, and I hope you have gained a few new ideas, strategies, or resources to use in your classroom. Please remember to join me next week for more insights into everything education in your classroom. Until then, let's continue to transform education for everyone, everywhere. Thanks for tuning in.